Alright, first thing I'm going to do is have this fit into my screen. So I'm going to go View, Fit on Screen. So now I have the whole soccer player. And then I'm going to go to my pen tool. And I'm going to use my pen to create a path around the player. And if you want to be really precision about this, you would zoom in, but for our purposes, this should be just fine. Okay, so now we have our path, and we want to make our path a selection. So I go to Paths, click on my Path to Selection button, and now the soccer player is selected. So I'm going to edit, copy. So I've copied the player. Now I'm going to get rid of all this color information of the picture. Just like we do with the rows, edit, transform. No, I'm sorry. That's not true. Image, mode, grayscale, discard. Image, mode, color. So what I just did here was I got rid of all the color in the color from this photo by transferring it to a grayscale or black and white picture. Then I converted it to a color picture, but the colors that I'm using only is black and white, grayscale. So now I'm going to paste it, edit, paste. Alright, now I have my player pasted in here. But I don't have the ball. So let's go ahead and go to this football. And we're going to create a path again with our pen tool. Click, click and pull. Click and pull. And this is legitimately straight out of the Bezier game that we played a couple days ago. So you should be able to do this no problem. Alright, so now I've got my path created. I'm going to make it a selection. I'm going to copy it. Go back to my picture. Oh, not that one. That one. And I'm going to paste this ball in. Edit. Paste. So now I have my ball. It's way too big. It's way too large. So I want to shrink it down. And I'm going to replace this ball. So I'm going to go edit, transform, scale. And I'm just going to grab these corners and get the ball, the size and location that I like. Looks good. I'm just going to click on my move tool and it's going to become sized. So now I have the ball in color as one layer. soccer player as another layer, and then my background grayscale. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to find my layer with the soccer player, and I'm going to open up the Styles tab. So I double click here, and now I've got my layer styles pop up. And what I'm going to add is called an outer glow. Right here, outer glow. So I click on outer glow, and then I click right here to see the options. And now I can start messing around with the options, right? The color, I can make it pink if I wanted to. I can make it more opaque or see-through. I can add noise, so it's like spackly. Spread it out, make it bigger, smaller. So just play around with this and get it to where you like. I'm going to go green because it's a green picture. Okay. I like the way it looks. I'm going to hit OK. Now, I've just created a style on the child. And I like the way this looks, and I want to put the same glow on the soccer ball. So to do this, it is shockingly easy. Go to your layer that you like, right click, and you're going to copy the layer style. Right? So I'm just copying this stuff that I just did right here, and then I'm going to do the same thing here, but I'm going to paste the layer style. So I'm going to select the ball, right click, paste layer style, and now it's got the same exact glow as the child. Next step, open up that smoke that we like, green smoke, and I want to select it all. So there's two ways we can do this. The first way, use our selection tool and just click and hold and create the box. Or click select and then all. Either way works. It's whatever you prefer. You can also use the hotkey Control A. Whoop. What happened here? Control A, and it selects it all. And then we're going to copy it, edit, copy, and then go to our project, and we're going to paste it in here. Edit, paste. Alright, we have a problem. We can't see the soccer ball or the child. And the reason for that is we have the smoke layer on top of the ball and the child. So all we have to do, here I'm going to scoot this up just a little bit. I guess I can't. Oh well. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this layer down and then drag it down again. So the smoke layer is below the child and the ball, right? Next thing I want to do, if you don't like the way the smoke layer is, you want to mess with it, you can always do the edit, transform, scale, and you can modify however you want. Totally up to you. However you like it, it's good enough for me. Okay. Next thing I want to do, open up my barbed wire image. And again, we're going to do the same procedure. Select all, edit, copy, go to the photo, and then edit, paste. Alright, so now I have this barbed wire picture on top of my smoke picture, but it's covering it all up, right? So I want the barbed wire just to show through just a little tiny bit. So I'm going to use what's called opacity in my layers right here. And that's going to make it as see-through as I want. So just slide it back and forth until you get to how you like it. And there is no wrong or right on this. It's just, again, how you like it. Looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and be satisfied with that. I think I have something going on weird right here. That's okay. Okay. Next step. Let's go ahead and open up our frog. Here's our frog picture. Select all, edit, copy, find our picture, edit, paste, and our frog is there. I want this frog to be down here in the corner, and I want it to be smaller. So again, edit, transform, scale. I'm just going to make the frog smaller and move it down here. Looks good. I like it. Okay. So let's check out what we have going on. First thing we have is our smoke, our background layer. That's the black and white layer. Then we have our smoke layer. And you can see that's where my problem is with this line. I just need to move it down a little bit. No big deal. Oh, that's not it. Oh, because I'm not on the smoke layer. I got to go to the smoke layer. What's going on? Okay, here's the smoke layer. Move it down. Now grab my... There we go. Okay. So I've got my background, my smoke layer, my barbed wire layer, my frog layer, and now I'm going to do a new layer. I'm going to create one, right? And this layer is going to have nothing on it. So before, what we were doing, every time we pasted something in here, we created a new layer. Now I'm going to create a layer that has nothing on it. And to do that, all you have to do is click this little plus, right? Little plus. So now there's a layer here that has nothing on it. And we can add things to this layer. So what I'm going to do is use this selection tool. And I'm going to just click and make a box. So I've just selected this area in this empty layer, right? There's nothing on here, but this area is chosen. So what I want to do now is I want to get my paint bucket, right? Paint bucket tool, which is hidden under this gradient tool. So if you have gradient here, just click and hold, and then go down to the paint bucket tool. If you have the paint bucket tool, you're already good. And then I want to choose the color I want to use to paint this square. I'm going to fill this square area up with, I'll just use black since it's already there. But if I wanted to, I could just click there, and I could choose a different color. I'll choose a color. Let's go ahead and do, might as well go with the flow and keep the green party going. Okay, so I have green, paint bucket, and I'm just going to paint this. Blah. Alright, so this is pretty obnoxiously bright compared to the rest of the image. So let's go ahead and kick down this opacity and make it look a little see-through. That looks pretty cool. Alright. Now I'm going to go to my text or type tool. And I want to change the color because I don't want to put green on green. Here's my selection. Hit OK. And Now let's type. Once I click this type tool, it creates a new layer, right? And this is ridiculously large, so I'll make it a little bit smaller. Alright, join the Frogs Soccer Club. Alright, I'm going to move this, so I'm going to use my move tool. And you see that line? That means it's centered on this green box. And I think the font's kind of small, so let's go ahead and make it bigger. And you can change the style if you wish. It's up to you. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and change that up a little bit. Okay, so I've got joins just a little bit smaller. I'm going to make the frogs larger. Okay, so now I've got this layer. Join the Frog Soccer Club, right here. If I click off, and then I click layer again, I click the type tool again, it's going to create a second text layer. So you're going to have this layer that says join the Frog Soccer Club, and then I'm going to create a new layer, right? And it's going to be right above there. So let's say Tryouts Saturday, June 3rd, 2025 or whatever. And then again we can mess with this size. When you're going to change everything, make sure it's all highlighted. If you only highlight a little bit and then you change the font, it's not going to get everything. So you got to make sure everything is selected. And we can add some more. Gaston Middle School Soccer Field. 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Bring water, ball, shin guards. For info, call 559 559 5959. Okay. So I'm going to click off here, and I'm going to move this so it fits a little bit nicer. And we have just created a flyer for a soccer tryouts, and that's it. Oh, so to recap, we have on the bottom our background layer. That's that black and white that we took out. We have our smoke layer above that. We have our barbed wire layer with the opacity dropped 40% or whatever you chose. Then on top of that we have our frog layer. And on top of that we have our green box that we created from a blank layer. Then we have our first group of text. And then we have our second group of text. Now, if you wanted to make this a flyer that you were going to go to, say, I don't know, Office Max or whatever to print out, what you'd want to do first off is save it as is, so that way you can mess with it later if you need to. Like say the date changes. So we'd save it. And we want to save it as a Photoshop file, PSD. And what this does is it saves all the layers so you can still modify if you need to. So now that we've saved it, now we can save it flattened, which means all these layers are combined now. So to do that, you just go Layer, Flatten Image. So it's going to just smash all these layers together. Flatten Image, and now we just have one image. And then save it, File, Save As, and this time we're going to save it as a JPEG. And again, this is compression rates. So the more compression that you have, the less quality it is. So this is like asking for the top quality or whatever. I usually just keep it at like between 9 and 10, but you could do whatever you want. Hit OK, and you are done.